Namaste. Today, I figured that since we're all at home, still enjoying the lockdown, enjoying, um, and we're baking, cooking, and doing a lot of eating. And I figured the best way to balance the guilt that we might feel because of eating is to do yoga poses, which is specifically for the fact that we're eating. In yoga, we do a lot of twists and we do a lot of poses which stretch the belly. And the reason for this, of course, is because we're opening the abdominal region, the muscles, and stretching and stimulating them. And all of that basically ends up with better digestion, and that ultimately leads to more energy, which then could translate into eating much more food. The first thing, of course, that I would suggest is to do a sun salutation round, where there are plenty of videos on my YouTube channel, so you can always check those out. But then if you're not wanting to go through the whole sun salutation regime, then just a couple of poses, twists, would be the best way to stimulate and get those digestive juices flowing. So one of the first things that we can do to begin with is just take a few seconds, sit however you feel comfortable, cross-legged, okay? You can always put a little pillow underneath your buttocks to lift you up so that you're more comfortable. Close your eyes and we'll just ground ourselves. Take a few seconds to just bring a little bit of calmness. Remember the last meal that you just ate. Remember how much you enjoyed it. And now we're just going to help the stomach and the digestive organs work. Most important thing, of course, that I forgot to mention earlier is that when you do these, you can do them 2 hours before you eat. So always practice on an empty stomach. And after you've eaten, wait 2 hours, depending on how fast your food gets digested, before you actually get into the poses. Okay, so now that you've ground yourself, listen to my little bit of gyan. We're going to do a seated twist. So you're going to place the right hand on your left knee. Take your left hand, exhale and twist. So twists in yoga are really good for the internal organs. And you're going to feel it. And because of the nature of the twist, the breath, of course, gets constricted. Just hold here for a few seconds. Breathing into the belly. And then inhaling back to center. And then exhaling over to the right. Again, just be aware of the breath in the belly. And inhale back to center. This pose, of course, you can do 2 times. But from here, what I'd like to do is the spinal twist, ardha matsendrasan. So what you're going to do is you're going to stretch your legs out in front of you. Bring your left leg over your right knee. Toes are straight ahead. And you're going to inhale, lift your left hand, lengthen your spine, and then exhale, turn. So you can hold the way I'm holding right now. You can even wrap the elbow. And then just breathe again. You will find that the breath into the belly might be a little bit more challenging here. That's absolutely fine. And just observe the stretches that you can feel throughout your body. And then inhaling back to center. Stretch your left leg out. Place the right leg over the left knee. Leg is straight, toes are pointing up. And then you're going to inhale, right arm goes up, lengthening. Exhale, place your hand behind. And then inhale, left can now go either on the knee or the thigh. You can stretch the arm out, of course. You can do the wrap or you can do a hold. So a lot of lovely variations. The hand at the back will just support you. Try not to lean down into it. And then lengthening your spine. Imagine your internal organs getting a lovely twist. It invigorates them. Breathing into the belly if you can, otherwise the chest is absolutely fine. And then inhaling back to center. Of course, you can always hold this for as many breaths as you like. From here, we're going to go into paschimottanasan, the seated forward bend. So legs are straight. If you want, you can always open them slightly, whatever is comfortable. Try to keep your knees soft. And then you're going to inhale, lengthen, like someone's pulling. And then exhale, fold forward. Okay, rest your fingers on your toes, elbows bend. If not, you can rest your hands on the shins or close to the ankles. Now you notice I'm trying to make sure that I don't round my back. Just trying to keep that back long, straight, lengthened. And again, contracting the stomach region does give the internal organs also a nice massage. On an exhale, you can try to bring yourself closer to your thighs or your knees. If you find that the hamstring stretch is a little intense, you can always bend the knees. And then you're going to inhale back up, lengthen your spine, place your hand behind your back. From here, you're just going to lift your chest up to the ceiling. If you want to look up and that doesn't do anything to your neck, if it's comfortable, go for it. Otherwise, you can just keep your head looking straight ahead. And again, this gives you a lovely stretch on the chest and the stomach region. You can walk your hands a little further back. And release. From here, what we're going to do is come onto all fours. So the cat and cow is really got so many dualistic benefits. So you're going to stack the shoulders over the elbows and the wrists. Hips are over your knees, a little bit of space between. When you exhale and you round your back, then you're inhaling and opening the chest. You're giving a lovely stretch to the stomach and the chest region. Do about like 5 of these. from here, downward facing dog, adho, mukh, svanasan is another pose which is really good for digestion. So lift your knees, press into the mat. My feet are apart. Some people like to do the pose with their feet closer together. Again, it's absolutely fine. You can do a little bit of pedaling action so that not just the ab muscles get a little bit of exercise, but even the hamstrings. Just hold for 1 or 2 more breaths. Then drop back down onto your knees and we're going to stand. So bring the right leg forward and the left leg forward. Again, a standing forward bend is also good for your knees, for your stomach region. Keeping your knees bent. Feet are slightly apart. We're going to go into the chair pose. Again, another pose which is great for digestion. So knees are bent, looking straight ahead. If you have knee or ankle issues, you might not want to do this one. Skip it. That's absolutely fine. And release from the pose. Inhaling up. The triangle or the trikonasan is another great pose. So what you want to do is keep your feet 3.5 or 4 feet apart. You're inhaling up and then you're exhaling down. Okay. You can of course look up or you can look straight ahead, whatever works for you in terms of your head and neck. Okay, and breathe. And inhale up. Okay, change sides. Inhaling up. Exhale as you swivel down. And keep breathing. You want to look wherever it's super comfortable for you. Now, like I've mentioned earlier, you can also look up, but if that creates any kind of tension on the neck, forget it. Because today we're focusing on the digestive system. Then inhale up. Now the next pose is the parivrtta trikonasan. So that is actually a revolved triangle. So what you want to do is inhale, lift your arms back up. Okay, turn. And then you place the left hand either in front or behind the foot. Now, if you're adept at this, you can lift your arm up. Otherwise, you can just place it on top of the body near the hips or the torso. And again, just turn your head and look at the wall behind. You will notice secondary stretches along your hamstrings, slightly behind the knee region. So if that's a little too intense, just microbend your knee. And then inhale back up. Swivel, swap sides, change. And then inhale, lifting the arms up, turn. Okay, and place the right hand in front of the left foot. Again, if you're adept, you can turn your head, look at the wall, or you can look down, because this is also going to work on your balance. If you want to be really advanced on this, place your right hand behind the foot and give yourself a more intense twist. And then inhaling back up, exhale down. So a little bit of standing action to kind of get everything moving. And then from here, I'm going to ask you to lie down. No yoga session is complete without a little bit of lying down action to rest and relax and give yourself a mental pat on the back. With digestive issues, sometimes we have issues with bloating or gas. So we're going to do pavanmukta, which is where you're bringing your right knee next to the chest and hugging the knee in. This is called a wind releasing pose. Again, if your head and neck are absolutely comfortable with being lifted up, bring your nose to your knee. So you're exhaling here and then inhale, let your head rest back down, stretch your leg out and repeat. So bringing the left knee towards the chest, give yourself like a mini hug. And then on an inhale, lift your head, forehead to the knee or your nose to the knee, whatever works best. And stretch the leg out. Now we're going to do apanasan, which is hugging your knees to your chest. Again, exhale, draw the knees in towards the chest, wrap your arms or your elbows, and then you can lift the forehead. Give yourself a little bit of self-love here. You can keep your head up or rest it back down. Just feeling your breath and your belly rise and fall. And release. Keeping your knees bent, place the feet flat on the mat. We're going to lift up into bridge, which is really not just stretching the chest and releasing tension from the lower back, but opening the entire region, the stomach. Remember to tuck your chin slightly in so you're not extending your head out. Okay, notice if you're holding any tension in the toes, keep them flat. Really feel that stretch. And then gently exhale vertebrae by vertebrae back down again. Once your hips are back down on the mat, check to make sure your lower back is comfortable. And then I'm going to stretch the right leg out. Place the left either on your thigh or next to it. Grab your knee with the right hand and exhale, turn. So this pose has got a bunch of names to it. Okay, it's also known as the reclined spinal twist, or so that would be supta, ardha, matsendrasan. Your head can turn to the left or you can keep looking straight up. Again, you're going to feel this delicious stretch. It goes all the way up to the shoulder region. If your shoulder has a tendency to lift up, that's absolutely fine. Just bring your hand a little closer to your body. So hold this for 2 or 3 breaths more. Try to stay in the present and not think about the cupcakes that are waiting to be munched on. And then inhaling back up, stretch your left leg out. Readjust if you need to. Bend your right, place it on the thigh. Grab your knee with your left hand. And as you exhale, you could just bring your shoulder up, your arm up. Again, you can turn your head to the right, or you can just keep looking straight up. Eyes can be closed. And then gently releasing. Inhale, lift your right leg, stretch it back out again. Shake if you need to. And then what we're going to do is just open our feet to the width of the mat, making any final adjustments. Stretch our arms out. So Shavasana has many great aspects to it. So you can really feel a lengthening. Allow yourself to rest. Just for a few seconds. And then when you're ready, bring your feet together and we'll do the last teeny mini little stretch, which is to just really stretch and open up the entire body, release tension throughout. Flex and point your toes a couple of times. Keep rolling over to the right. Bend your knees. Roll over to the right. And come and sit back up. Now we're ready for our next meal. Guilt-free, of course. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to like, send me any thoughts, any suggestions for yoga that you want to do in future. And namaste. Have an awesome day.